Also, the new subcommittee chairman of Conservation and Forestry, Ms. Spanberger.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Secretary Perdue. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for being here. And first of all, I'd like to start by inviting you to join me in Central Virginia. Visit my district sometime. We have bison farmers, vineyards, dairies, small and large soybean farms, hydroponic farms, small family, certified naturally grown farms, and I'd love to take you on a tour of quite a few of our farms if and when you have the time. But my question today is about rural broadband. I know there's been a number of questions about this already, but according to the FCC's 2018 Broadband Deployment Report, almost 30% of Virginians living in rural areas don't have access to fixed broadband at what's considered a minimally acceptable speed. That's 3 megabytes per second upload. This creates significant challenges, from the ability of businesses and farms to operate in these communities to the ability of our kids to do their homework. And across my district in Central Virginia, we have some students who sit in McDonald's parking lots so that they can get access to internet. And it is drastically impacting their ability to compete with other students, to have the same experience as other students in some of our more populated suburban areas that have stronger broadband internet. The FY19-2018 appropriations included $550 million for the Reconnect program, a broadband loan and grant program, and the USDA's Rural Utilities Service also has other programs to support broadband, such as the Community Connect grants and the Distant Learning and Telemedicine grants. You spoke briefly about USDA's rural broadband effort. So my question is, do you think that the funding level is sufficient and the structure of the programs are appropriate to address the challenge of getting broadband to rural communities across the country and, in my case, across Central Virginia?
Surely. Certainly not across the country. I think it's enough to indicate that we can deploy these in a competitive way, working with private sector partners. There are three tranches of that money. There is grant money, $200 million, loan grant money of $200 million, and $200 million of just loan money, of which there has to be equities in there. It's only the tip of the iceberg in the beginning. You have a beautiful district, and I would love to come visit and tour and visit with you to your farmers, but the fact is, you're absolutely right. Not only your district, but many of the districts of your colleagues around here have situations that are exacerbating the rural-urban divide. Yeah. And if we want people to live in beautiful places like you have all over your district, they're not going to do it without the kind of services that are just important as electricity was in the 30s.
That's right.
And that's what I would love for this committee to be, a champion to help us moonshot to cover this country from coast to coast with broadband.
Thank you, sir, and thank you very much for your comments on that. My district is a perfect example. We are majority suburban in population, majority rural in landmass, and that divide that you mentioned is happening right in Central Virginia in our congressional district. I have one more question about broadband, and I'm curious, what do you expect the impact of the Reconnect programs funded at the 2019 levels to be on the number of people who can access broadband? Sort of what percentage of the need do you think that program might be able to address?
I'm not sure I want to tell you these numbers. I don't have a specific number, but this is very broad, not nearly enough. This is, as I said, I don't know what quantification the tip of the iceberg is, but this is just a test case to demonstrate what we're trying to develop are public-private partnerships. The federal government, frankly, doesn't have enough money to do all this itself either. We use the REAs and all the EMCs across the country in the rural electrification and telephony. We had other private businesses there. What we're going to try to learn is how to optimize and leverage federal incentives where there's not an economic reason to do this, get people who are in that business that know how to do it and to do the most of it. I can't give you a specific number, but it's only a beginning.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your support of these initiatives overall and for your recognition of what a significant issue this is to so many communities. Thank you, and Mr. Chair, I yield back.
Thank you, gentlelady, and I want to remind members that